Man, never mind. I'll talk about it later.
I told Mr. Rod I'm so nosy. I was hoping we got some of the conversation on what Angela was calling for.
Oh yeah. Like okay, yeah. So hey, Haru, go close my door. Hey, okay, I just got the phone with Angela Simmons. I had to call him right back. I told him I was gonna call him. Hey, close my door, Haru. I just got the phone with Angela Simmons, and yeah, I was telling her about her father, and a lot of things we was talking about. So and she was asking me a lot of questions about her last name, Simmons, and all that. What it traces back to, the Simmons go back to like
Criminals.
and the Seminoles, right? And the Seminoles, like, that's a big tribe. That's a mixed tribe between several tribes that came together to fight the Seminole Wars. So they were like Muskogee, they were like Apache, they were different tribes that came, like Geronimo. They was after Geronimo, but they different tribes came, and when like you said, Noble Drew Ali said they bumped left. So when they bumped left, Big Mama put the smoke signal out and said, "Hey, we need all the men together and go fight these cats because they trying to bump left. They trying to come in left." And what they was doing is, it goes to tie in with Thanksgiving, with Pocahontas, Monte-Oka. Monte-Oka was the key pivot point in them getting in, these dirty Moors, right? The people that they tell you in the storyline, they show John Smith and John Rolfe as being
Pale skin,
right? But they really wasn't pale skin. They were Macs. They were like Romeo type dudes. They know how to talk, and they read Shakespeare and shit. They were pimps, the real pimps. And they came over here and they started macking the women. And they saw that Pocahontas was the princess of a Parliament tribe of the Iroquois Confederation. Her father, he actually looked just like LeBron James. If you go get a statue of him, he was like LeBron James, like the same height, everything, same body structure. LeBron James is actually from that same tribe, but in Virginia, right? But they came in, they macked John Rolfe Warner, and then they talked in again, going back to England, where he impregnated her and had a baby by her, right? So you got these dudes that look like us, and keep in mind everything Rod's saying with the Avatar. When you watch the movie Avatar Part 1, it shows free white men, or these white guys coming, who got clones of the natives, Navi, they call them Navi, which is short for the natives. It's the same Pocahontas story, the same storyline, what happened to us. They feed it to us right there in Avatar. These beings came, they wanted a mineral from these people where they lived it. And so
unobtainium.
Right? And so they took...
Unobtainium is gold on Earth.
That's right. Okay, that's right. Right? So they took avatars that look like these people, but they wasn't these people. They were a free white man inside of that looked like us. That's the same thing that Rod's saying, right? And the storyline
is themselves blackface so that they could tell us that it was black faces behind the white face.
Exactly. And then so what they did is to play the whole storyline out, one of their people sold them out, which was Thomas Rolfe did kind of turn against his people over there in England, because he fell in love with Monte-Oka, right? So if you go read the storyline in the court documents and all that, you see how he was like trying to save her, keep her from getting killed, right?
Listen, the reason they took him back to England was to be evaluated.
Graceland, England. Go ahead.
They was looking for two specific females that was in flight from Europe. Scotta and Scotia. They was the red-haired sisters. One was our complexion with red hair, fiery red hair, and the other one was buttermilk complexion, freckles, and red hair. Scotta's children settled in the Appalachian Mountains. Scotia children went into Canada and settled Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia means the land of New Scotia or New Scotia. So these were Ireland and Scotland wars with Rome when they fled over here. When they kidnapped Pocahontas and took her over there, because she had auburn red hair, they thought she was what they called the red-haired princess.
Yeah. I remember this.
It wasn't until she got to Europe, they said, that ain't her. That ain't who we looking for. Her hair too dark. The red is not bright enough. Right? So now you got tribes over here they carry on the tradition of Scotia by dyeing their hair blonde, and they look like me and you.
Mm-hmm.
That's to honor the tribal tradition of her clans under their matriarchal lineage.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a parody of it in the Robert Townsend movie when the dudes who came to town as the gangsters had the orange hair.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But that's those ones with the blonde hair, some of them was born that way. But that was how Scotia was. Look, she was dark skinned with the bright color hair.
Mm-hmm.
And so this who they was looking for, and they thought it was Setch and Pocahontas.
Mm-hmm.
And both times they was dead wrong. They picked the wrong people.
Yeah, they specifically came after her. That's for sure.
Yeah. That was all part of them trying to steal the land, because they trying to steal the matriarchs with birthrights to different places around the world. By kidnapping them, you win by military conquest.
Yeah.
And that's where we was at a war. We was in war. So the goal in war is to capture the king or the queen of the forces you fighting against. So now they looking for the big mama of this land, and we got so many of them, they gave up on that and went to looking for the ones that came from foreign places for refuge, because this was the land of refuge. That's why I got all of these colorful epithets: the land of God's land, God's country, the land of milk and honey, the land of prophecy, the promised land, the holy land. All this applies to America.
Yeah, it's right.
Right? But it's still all tribal land in the end. And we put a totem pole in DC to claim that back. So now all we have to do is raise a government, because there's no government.
That's right.
All the governmental services